So today's project is replacing the throttle position sensor and idle air control valve on this 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee. However, this procedure applies to most Jeeps with the inline 6-cylinder 4-liter engines. You want to begin by popping the hood and disconnecting the negative battery cable. We'll need to remove the rear portion of the air intake system that covers the throttle body by removing this 10mm bolt and using a flathead screwdriver to loosen this clamp. Then loosen this clamp and remove the PCV hose from the airbox. Here's the location of the idle air control valve and throttle position sensor. You'll need a T20 torque socket or screwdriver for removal. If you're just replacing the TPS, you can get away with using a stubby right angle ratchet with the T20 Torx bit for removal. But since we're also replacing the idle air control valve, we'll need to unbolt the throttle body so we can reach the bottom screw. We'll first need to remove the transmission, cruise control, and throttle cables. The first two are pushed off and the rear cable gets pried straight back. Take off the gasket and you'll need a 10mm socket to remove the 4 bolts that mount the throttle body to the intake. Now that we have easy access to our screws, I'll be using a T20 torque socket for removal. Just push down on this tab and pull out to release the electrical connector. So here's the idle air control valve, and it's programmed to regulate and maintain the engine idle speed at a constant rate. Common symptoms associated with this part failing include a check engine light, irregular idle speed. It can even leave your vehicle without a source of air to maintain proper idle, which causes the engine to stall out during operation, and in some cases prevents your engine from idling at all. Installation is reversive removal, but it's also a good idea to clean out the throttle body with carb cleaner before bolting everything back up. And as always, start your screws by hand to prevent cross-threading. Moving on to the throttle position sensor, remove the 2 T20 Torx screws, then push the tab down and pull out to remove the electrical connector. So this is the throttle position sensor, and it's a part of the fuel management system and provides the most direct signal to the fuel injection system of what power demands are being made by the engine. The TPS signal is constantly measured with other data like air temperature, engine RPM, mass airflow, and how quickly the throttle position changes, and these data determine how much fuel to inject into the engine. Common symptoms associated with this failure include sudden idle surging, hesitation while accelerating, and intermittent flashing of the check engine light, along with sudden engine stalling without any apparent reason. Installation is reversive removal, but make sure to align the sensor with the socket tang on the throttle shaft. Reattach your wiring harness and don't forget to put your throttle body gasket back in place. Reattach your PCV hose, tighten all clamps down, and reconnect your negative battery cable. Then start the vehicle and idle for 2 minutes in park with the AC off, then 2 minutes with the AC on. Then put it in gear and idle for 2 minutes with the AC off, then 2 minutes with the AC on. This step isn't absolutely necessary for older models, but it does help the main computer relearn idle and fuel trim strategy.